Am sitting in family court watching Judge Morrison flip through a manila folder. It's thick stuffed with papers that are color coded, tabbed, and organized like a legal brief. It's my son's school file. My ex husband Derek sits across the aisle with his lawyer, Hez wearing a suit that costs more than my monthly rent. His third wife Amber is next to him in head to toe. Designer Derek's lawyer just spent 20 minutes arguing that requesting excessive and unreasonable child support, that our son's educational needs are inflated, that weaponizing the system to punish Derek for moving on. Judge Morrison hasn't said a word, she's just been reading. Finally, she looks up, Mr. Bennett, is it true that you currently pay $1,200 a month in child support for your son, Ethan? Yes, Your Honor. Derek says smoothly, and Mrs. Bennett is requesting an increase to $2,800 per month, correct? Which is ridiculous given my income, your income. Judge Morrison interrupts, which you reported as $6,000 annually. Is that correct? Yes. She flips a page. Her expression doesn't change, but something about her posture shifts, and you're arguing that you cannot afford to contribute more to your son's education because it's too expensive, Your Honor. Ethan goes to a private school that costs $32,000 a year. His mother chose that school without consulting me. Actually, Judge Morrison says quietly, according to this file, Ethan's school was recommended by 3 separate educational psychologists due to his learning disabilities. Is that correct, Mrs. Bennett? My lawyer, Rachel Moss, stands. Yes, Your Honor. We have documentation from looking at it. Judge Morrison holds up a report, Dyslexia, ADHD auditory processing disorder. And according to his IEP, he was failing out of public school before the transfer. Derek shifts in his seat. Mr. Bennett, the judge continues, curious about something. You claim you can't afford $1,600 more per month for your son's education. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor, I have other financial obligations, like the $87,000 you spent last year on a boat. The courtroom goes silent. Derek's face drains of color. Or the $23,000 you spent on a vacation to Bora Bora, or the $12,000 in monthly payments on a Range Rover. She closes the file. I have credit card statements, bank records, and social media posts, all submitted by Mrs. Bennett as evidence. Shall I continue? What Derek doesn't know what he's about to find out is that for 2 years I've been documenting everything. Every expense, every need he denied, every dollar he spent on himself while claiming our son was too expensive. And the school file the judge just read, it doesn't just have Ethan's grades. It has every email Derek ignored, every meeting he skipped, every request for help that went unanswered. My name is Sarah Bennett, I'm 38 years old, and if you're watching this, please subscribe to Echo of Justice Stories and let me know where you're watching from. To understand how we got here to this courtroom, to this moment of reckoning, I need to take you back 4 years, to the day my marriage ended and my fight for my son began. I'm 34 years old, sitting across from my husband of 9 years in a mediator's office. Derek wants a divorce. He's been having an affair with a 26-year-old from his gym. Her name is Amber Shez, a personal trainer. She posts bikini photos on Instagram. I know because Derek forgot to log out of his account on our shared iPad. The mediator, a calm woman named Susan, guides us through the paperwork. Child custody, she asks, I want 50-50. Derek says, I blink. You work 60 hours a week, it'll adjust my schedule. You've never adjusted your schedule. You miss soccer games, parent-teacher conferences, doctor appointments. That's because you handle all that, because you won't. Susan intervenes. Let's focus on what's best for Ethan. Has 6 years old, first grade, any special needs we should be aware of? He's struggling in school. I say his teacher says he might have a learning disability. We have an evaluation scheduled. Derek waves a hand. He's fine, just needs to focus more. He can't read, Derek. He's in first grade and can't recognize basic sight words. He's a late bloomer. Susan makes a note. The evaluation will be important for determining educational needs. Moving on to child support. It'll pay what the state requires, Derek says, but I'm not paying for extras, like what private school tutors, whatever Sarah's planning to ask for. I'm not planning anything. I'm trying to help our son. Our son is fine. He's not fine, but Derek doesn't want to hear it. The divorce is finalized 3 months later. Custody primary with me. Derek gets alternating weekends and 1 weeknight dinner. Child support $1,200 per month. based on state guidelines and Derek's reported income of $12,000. It's not enough, but it's what the calculator says. Derek moves in with Amber 2 weeks later, a condo downtown, 2 bedrooms, floor to ceiling windows, rooftop pool. Ethan comes home from his first weekend there. Dad has a big TV, and Amber made pancakes shaped like Mickey Mouse. That sounds fun, buddy. Can we get a big TV? Maybe someday we're living in a 2 bedroom apartment, $1,600 a month. It's clean safe. But it's not a condo with a rooftop pool. I'm a nurse. I make $64,000 a year. After taxes, rent, childcare, and health insurance, I'm left with about $400 a month for everything else. It's tight, but we're managing. Then Ethan's evaluation comes back June 2020. The psychologist's office, Dr. Laura Chen, sits across from me with a folder. The same kind Judge Morrison will hold 4 years later. Ethan has dyslexia, moderate to severe. He also shows signs of ADHD and auditory processing disorder. I already knew, but hearing it officially makes it real. What does that mean for school? He needs intervention, specialized instruction, small class sizes. Ideally, a school with experience in learning disabilities like a private school. Most likely, public schools can provide some services. But for a child with Ethan's profile, a specialized program would be ideal. How much does that cost? Anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a year. My heart sinks. I can't afford that. There are scholarships, financial aid, and his father's child support can be adjusted based on educational needs. His father doesn't think there's anything wrong with him. Dr. Chen's expression softens. Show him this report. It's comprehensive, hard to deny. I emailed Derek the report that night. Subject: Ethan's evaluation, please read body. Derek Ethan was evaluated by Dr. Chen. He has dyslexia, ADHD, and auditory processing disorder. He needs a specialized school. I've attached the full report. Can we meet to discuss? He responds 6 hours later. Am not paying for private school, has fine in public school. This is just you trying to get more money from me, I reply. This isn't about money, it's about Ethan's education. Everything's about money with you, Sarah. He doesn't respond after that. September 2020, second grade. Ethan starts public school again, with an IEP this time. Individualized education plan. He gets pulled out for reading support, 30 minutes a day. It's not enough. By October, he's crying every morning. I don't want to go to school. I'm stupid. You're not stupid, baby. Your brain just works differently. The other kids can read, I can't. My heart breaks every single day. I email his teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez. She's kind, patient, but overwhelmed, Sarah. I'm doing my best, but I have 24 students. I can't give Ethan the one-on-one attention he needs, I know. It's not her fault. I apply to 3 private schools, all specializing in learning disabilities. Bridgemont Academy, $32,000 per year. Thornfield School, $28,000 per year. Maple Ridge Learning Center, $35,000 per year. All 3 offer financial aid based on need. I submit applications, tax returns, pay stubs, a letter explaining our situation. Bridgemont offers us a spot with 40% financial aid. That brings tuition to $19,200 per year. It's still more than I can afford alone. I called Derek Ethan, got into Bridgemont. It's a school for kids with learning disabilities. Hell, get the help he needs. How much with financial aid? $19,200 a year. Are you out of your mind? Derek, he's failing, has 7. Hell, catch up. He won't, not without help. I'm not paying for some fancy private school so you can feel like a perfect mother. This isn't about me. It's always about you. The answer is no. He hangs up. If you've ever had to fight for your child's basic needs while your ex prioritizes everything else, you know this rage. It's cold. It's constant. Drop a comment. What did you have to fight for alone? Because I fought for 2 years before I got my day in court. I enroll Ethan at Bridgemont anyway. I can't afford it, but I can't not afford it. I work extra shifts, pick up overtime, take on side gigs doing medical consulting online. I drain my savings, $8,000 gone in the first semester. I take out a loan, $1,000 at 9% interest. I sell my car, buy a used Honda Civic for $4,000 pocket. The difference: Ethan starts Bridgemont in January 2021. Within 3 months, he's reading, not fluently, but reading, has smiling again, excited about school. Mom, I read a whole book today. By myself I cry. Happy tears, exhausted tears, it's working. But am drowning. I file a motion to modify child support April 2021. My lawyer Rachel Moss is honest with me. This is going to be hard. Derek's already paying state guidelines to get more. We have to prove extraordinary expenses. Ethan's school is extraordinary. Yes, but Derek's going to argue you chose that school without his consent. He refused to consent. Well, need to prove that. Emails, documentation. Everything, I start documenting everything. Every email I send Derek, every request for help, every expense related to Ethan tuition. Tutoring therapy, doctor appointments, I create a spreadsheet. Date expense amount, Derek's contribution. Sept 2021, school tuition, $4,800, $0. Sept 2021, reading tutor, $400, $0. Sept 2021, ADHD medication, $85, $0. OCT 2021, occupational therapy, $320, $0. OC 2021, school supplies, $150, $0. Month after month, line after line, Derek's contribution column is always $0, except for the $1,200 child support, which barely covers groceries and rent. Meanwhile, Derek is living his best life, I know, because Amber posts everything on Instagram. August 2021, new boat can't wait for lake weekends, October 2021. Bora Bora, you were magical, December 2021. My man surprised me with a Range Rover for Christmas. I screenshot every post, save them in a folder labeled evidence. Rachel tells me this is good, really good. Shows a pattern of discretionary spending while denying his child's needs. I request a meeting with Derek in person at a coffee shop, December 2021. Derek, I need help. You always need help. Ethan is doing amazing at Bridgemont, but I can't keep paying for it alone. Can you contribute anything I already pay? Child support $1,200 a month doesn't cover his school. Then take him out of that school, he's thriving there. You made that choice without me. That's on you. I asked you to be part of the decision. You refused because it's a waste of money. I pull out my phone, show him Ethan's progress reports before and after Bridgemont, before reading at a kindergarten level in 2nd grade, after reading at grade level in 3rd grade. Look at this. He went up 2 grade levels in a year. Derek barely glances at it. Great. So the public school could be done that too? No, they couldn't. We tried for 2 years. You're just dramatic. I close my eyes, take a breath. Derek, am drowning. I've taken out loans. I've sold my car. Am working 70 hours a week. I just need you to help with his education, get a better job. Am a nurse, then work more hours. I can't work more than I already am. He stands up. This conversation is over. You made your bed, lie in it. He leaves. I sit there for 20 minutes staring at my cold coffee. January 2022, I get a notice. Derek is taking me back to court. He's requesting a decrease in child support. His argument, his expenses have increased since he remarried. Amber isn't working, he's supporting 2 households now. He wants to pay $800 instead of $1,200. I call Rachel. Can he do this? He can try. It probably won't work, but it'll cost you time and money to fight it. I don't have money, I know. We'll figure it out. March 2022, the court date for Derek's motion. Judge Morrison presiding, same Judge Hull, hear my modification request later. Derek's lawyer argues that his expenses have legitimately increased. New wife, new household, Rachel counters. Mr. Bennett's expenses are voluntary. He chose to remarry. That doesn't reduce his obligation to his child. The judge agrees. Motion denied. Derek's support stays at $1,200. But now he's pissed. You're going to regret this, he says in the parking lot. Is that a threat? It's a fact. April 2022. Derek stops showing up for his parenting time, misses 2 weekends in a row. No call, no explanation. Ethan asks, is Dad mad at me? No, baby. Dad is just busy. Because of court kids hear everything, it's grown-up stuff. Don't worry about it, but he does worry. He's 8 years old and his dad is punishing him to hurt me. I document every missed visit, date, time, whether Derek called, whether he rescheduled April 9th, missed no call April 23rd, missed no call May 7, showed up 2 hours late, May 20 missed, texted something came up, I add it to my evidence file. June 2022, Ethan's school has a father-son activity day. I emailed Derek 2 weeks in advance. Bridgemont is having a father-son event. On June 18th, it's important to Ethan. Can you attend? No response. I email again a week before Derek. Please confirm if you're coming to Ethan's school event. I need to let them know. No response. I call voicemail the day of the event. Ethan waits by the window. Is Dad coming? I don't know, buddy. He doesn't come. My brother Matt steps in, takes Ethan to the event. Ethan smiles, pretends it's fine, but I see the hurt in his eyes. I write an email to Derek that night. You missed Ethan's school event today. He waited for you. You didn't even have the decency to respond. This is unacceptable. His reply comes at 11 p.m. Stop using Ethan to manipulate me. If you want me involved, stop putting him in a school I never agreed to. I screenshot it, add it to the file, September 2022. My modification hearing is scheduled. I am requesting an increase from $1,200 per month to $2,800 per month breakdown. $1,600 for tuition, half of $32,000 per year, $400 for therapy and tutoring, $300 for medical expenses, $500 for basic needs, clothes, activities, etc. Rachel prepares the case. We have 2 years of financial records. Ethan's school records, doctors' reports, psychological evaluations, proof of Derek's income and spending, every email and text. This is one of the most documented cases I've ever seen. Rachel says I had to. Derek lies about everything. Well, he can't lie his way out of this. The hearing. November 15th, 2022. I'm wearing the same suit I wore to my nursing school graduation. It's 10 years old but still fits. Derek's wearing something new. Tailored, expensive amber is with him. Gucci bag, Louboutin heels. The irony isn't lost on me. Derek's lawyer goes first. Your Honor, my client pays $1,200 per month in child support. That's exactly what state guidelines require based on his income. Mrs. Bennett is requesting more than double that amount. Why? Because she unilaterally enrolled their son in an expensive private school without Mr. Bennett's consent. Ethan doesn't need private school. He has an IEP in public school. Mrs. Bennett is weaponizing the system to punish Mr. Bennett for moving on with his life. Additionally, Mr. Bennett's expenses have increased. He's remarried. His wife is currently unemployed. He has financial obligations beyond child support. We ask that the court deny Mrs. Bennett's request and maintain the current support order. Rachel stands, Your Honor. I'd like to submit evidence. She hands the clerk 3 binders. Binder 1, Ethan's educational and medical records, documenting his learning disabilities and the failure of public school to meet his needs. Binder 2, communications between Mrs. Bennett and Mr. Bennett, showing repeated attempts to involve him in educational decisions and his repeated refusals. Binder 3, financial records, Mr. Bennett's income, expenses, and discretionary spending over the past 2 years. Judge Morrison takes the binders, starts reading. The courtroom is silent. After 20 minutes, the judge looks up. Mrs. Bennett, can you walk me through Ethan's educational history? I stand. My legs are shaking. Ethan was diagnosed with dyslexia, ADHD, and auditory processing disorder in kindergarten. He struggled in public school despite having an IEP by 2nd grade. He was reading at a kindergarten level. He was crying every morning saying he was stupid. My voice breaks. 3 psychologists recommended a specialized school. I applied for financial aid, got him into Bridgemont with 40% off. I asked Derek to help pay. He refused, said Ethan was fine, that I was being dramatic. I enrolled him anyway. Within a year, Ethan went from a kindergarten reading level to grade level, has now in 4th grade reading at a 5th grade level, has happy, confident, thriving. Judge Morrison nods, and Mr. Bennett's involvement. I've sent dozens of emails, invitations to IEP meetings, school events, progress reports, has ignored almost all of them. Rachel hands the judge a printed packet, Exhibit D, Your Honor. Every email Mrs. Bennett sent to Mr. Bennett regarding Ethan's education. Highlighted sections show his responses or lack thereof. The judge reads, then she picks up. Binder 3, the financial records. Mr. Bennett, I see here that you reported your income as $12,000 in your initial support calculation. Is that still accurate? Derek's lawyer responds, Your Honor, my client's income has remained relatively stable. I asked Mr. Bennett. The judge says. Derek clears his throat. It's gone up slightly, maybe $6,000 now. So you're making $6,000 more than you reported and you're asking to pay less. My expenses have increased due to your choice to remarry. That doesn't reduce your obligation to Ethan. She flips through the financial records. I also see $87,000 spent on a boat, $23,000 on a vacation to Bora Bora, $12,000 in monthly payments on a Range Rover Derek shifts, and yet you claim you can't afford to contribute to your son's education, an education that is medically necessary according to 3 separate evaluations. She closes the binder. Mr. Bennett, do you have anything to say? Derek stands your honor. I love my son, but I don't think he needs a $32,000 a year school. Sarah is inflating his needs to get more money from me. Judge Morrison picks up another document, the one from the school file. Is that what you think? Yes. So, when Ethan's teacher wrote that he was in tears daily, feeling like a failure that was inflated, Derek doesn't answer. When his psychologist wrote that, without intervention, Ethan is at risk for severe academic failure and emotional distress that was inflated silence. When Bridgemont's principal wrote a letter unsolicited praising Ethan's progress and stating that he would not have achieved this growth in a traditional setting that was inflated, Judge Morrison holds up the letter. Mr. Bennett, your son's school file tells a very clear story, and it's not the one you're trying to sell. Judge Morrison takes off her reading glasses. Here's what I see. A mother who identified her child's needs sought appropriate interventions and made sacrifices to provide them. And a father who denied those needs existed, refused to participate, and spent lavishly on himself while claiming poverty when it came to his son. Mrs. Bennett is requesting $2,800 per month. Based on Mr. Bennett's actual income of $18,600, that's approximately 18% of his gross income. Well, within guideline range for one child with extraordinary needs, Mr. Bennett's argument that he can't afford this while spending $87,000 on a boat is not credible. In granting Mrs. Bennett's motion, child support is increased to $2,800 per month, effective immediately. Mr. Bennett will also pay 50% of Ethan's tuition going forward in addition to the monthly support. My breath catches. Additionally, Mr. Bennett will pay Mrs. Bennett's attorney fees in the amount of $8,500, and he will be required to attend all IEP meetings and parent-teacher conferences unless excused by Mrs. Bennett for legitimate reasons. Failure to comply will result in contempt charges. The gavel falls. I can't move, can't breathe. Rachel squeezes my hand. You did it. Across the aisle, Derek's face is red. He's arguing with his lawyer in harsh whispers. Amber looks like she's going to cry. I don't feel victorious. I feel exhausted, but I also feel something else. Relief in the hallway, Derek confronts me. This isn't over. Yeah, it is. You're going to regret this. The only thing I regret is ever. Believing you'd put Ethan first, Rachel steps between us. Mr. Bennett, I suggest you walk away before you say something that lands you in contempt. He walks away, Amber trailing behind. The first $2,800 payment hits my account on December 1st. I stare at it, cry. Not because it's a lot, it's not. It's what Ethan deserves. I cry because I've been fighting for 2 years and I finally won. December 15th. Derek shows up to Ethan's winter concert. First school event he's attended in a year. He sits in the back, doesn't talk to me, leaves right after. But he was there. Ethan notices Dad came. Yeah, buddy, he did. Does that mean he's not mad anymore? I don't know. But it means he's trying. Maybe, maybe not, but it'll take it January 2023. I pay off my loan. The one I took out to cover tuition, $1,000 plus interest with Derek's support. I can finally breathe. I start rebuilding my savings, $500 a month. It's not much, but it's something. March 2023, Ethan's IEP meeting. Derek attends via Zoom, but he's there. The teacher reviews Ethan's progress. He's reading at a 6th grade level now. In 4th grade, that's remarkable growth. I glance at Derek on the screen. His expression is unreadable. At the end, he unmutes. Thanks for the update. Then he disconnects. It's not much, but it's something. June 2023, father-son event at Bridgemont. Again, I emailed Derek, Ethan would really like you to come this year. He responds, "I'll be there," and he is. Shows up on time, participates, smiles for photos. Ethan is beaming. That night, Ethan says, "Today was the best day. So glad Buddy Dad said he's proud of me." My throat tightens. That's great. Do you think he means it? I think he's learning to. November 2023. 1 year after the judgment, Derek hasn't missed a payment, hasn't missed a school event. We're not friends, we barely talk, but he's showing up, and that's all Ethan needs. Ethan is 10 now, 5th grade, has reading Harry Potter, writing short stories, talking about becoming a teacher for kids like me. He still has dyslexia, ADHD processing issues, but he has the tools to manage them, and he has a mother who fought for him and a father who eventually stepped up Derek, and I will never have a good relationship. Too much has happened, too much resentment, but we have a functional one for Ethan, and that's enough. People ask if I regret fighting so hard. Never was it exhausting? Yes. Expensive? Yes. Worth it? Absolutely. Because Ethan deserved an advocate, and I was the only one willing to be it. The lessons I learned: document everything, emails, texts, receipts. Everything you never know when you'll need proof. Your child's needs aren't negotiable. Even when your ex says they are, don't let guilt stop you. Going to court feels aggressive, but sometimes it's the only way to protect your child. The system is slow and imperfect, but it can work if you have evidence. You can't force someone to be a good parent, but you can force them to provide financial support. If you're watching this and you're fighting for your child alone, I see you. I know you're tired. I know you're scared. I know you're wondering if it's worth it. It is your child needs you to fight, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Document everything, find a good lawyer, trust the process, and know that one day your child will understand what you did for them, and they'll thank you, not with words, but with their success, their happiness, their thriving. That's your evidence, and it's worth more than any judgment. That's my story. Now I have a question for you. If you've had to fight for your child's needs alone, what kept you going? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story reminded you that advocating for your child is never too much, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Check the description for more stories like this from Echo of Justice Stories. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Your child's needs matter, and you're not asking for too much. You're asking for what they deserve. Keep fighting.